Hi everyone, it's Sarah, and this is my first book video. So every month I'm going to start bringing you a little series that I'm going to call What I Read. So at the end of every month you're going to get a video showing what I read for that month and kind of what I felt about it and if I would recommend it or not. So I'm excited. I have just been introduced to this community on YouTube called BookTube, and while I'm primarily scrapbooking is mainly what I'm doing on my channel, I do want to throw in some books once a month just because it's something that I'm very passionate about. If you've seen my pages, I actually have done a lot of book pages. So it's something besides scrapbooking that's my other love, my other hobby. So I thought it'd be fun to do some of these. And so yeah, I'm excited. So a little what I've been doing for 2015 is I'm actually following a reading challenge that I found on Pop Sugar. Someone who posted it on Facebook and I clicked on it and I was like, I love that. So the past couple of years I've been struggling to read just because things got a little bit stressful. We got very busy in our military life. I got very involved with spouse things and kind of being a good support system for the spouses and doing things like that. So I got very busy, which meant that reading kind of got put on the back burner for me. And especially last year we moved and my husband was away for a majority of last year. So it was hard. I probably should have read more. I probably wouldn't have been quite as stressed out, but I didn't. I just didn't feel like it. So my numbers over the years have been kind of declining as far as how many books I've been reading. So last year I only read 20 the whole year. That's insane. So I was like, no. So this year I decided, at first I thought I'm just going to read 50 books. I'm going to set that goal for myself. That's a really good number. That would be a lot for me for right now. So that's a good goal for me to get to. That's where I want to be. And then I saw the challenge that has all the prompts on it and thought that is a good challenge for me because that'll push me, to read some things maybe I wouldn't normally read and just kind of take some of the guesswork out of it. Because when you have so many books that you want to read, it's like making a decision is just... So what I did was I went ahead and printed out that challenge and I put it in my planner. I taped it and I put it in here, cut it out. And I'm just keeping track of everything that I'm doing. So as I tell you what I'm reading, I will tell you what prompt on here that book fulfilled. And if you want to check this out, I'm going to leave a link in the description of the video. So go ahead and click on it if you want to check it out. All right, so let's get started. So January. The first book I read in January is this one, and this is called Manage Your Day to Day, Build Your Routine, Find Your Focus, and Sharpen Your Creative Mind. And this is written by, it's edited by Jocelyn K. Glee. And I got this for Christmas as a gift for my sister-in-law, and it's something that has been on my Amazon list for a while. And I like books like this that just kind of push you creatively and force you to think about things in a different way and kind of sharpen your mind a little bit, and that's kind of what I was really needing this past year. So this was the first one I read. It's pretty short. But it was good, and I liked, it had some really cool graphics in it, very nice, clean graphics. Let me show you one here. So this is a quote here. And that says, "It's not the load that breaks you down, it's the way you carry it." And that's a good one. That's by Lena Horne. So it has these all throughout, and there's some red ones too. So I enjoyed this book. I think it's a good book for if you kind of feel like things are in your life are kind of jumbled and you can't really concentrate on anything, and that's why I wanted to get it, because I kind of felt like things were all over the place and I couldn't focus on anything very well. I was trying to focus on like 20 things at once instead of one thing at one time. So, liked it. The prompt that this one fills is a nonfiction, so this is all nonfiction. It's like self-help-ish type, not depressing. The second book that I read is one that I read on my Kindle, and it's been on my Kindle for a long time, and I finally read it, and I loved it, and it was American Sniper by Chris Kyle. I love Chris Kyle, and I loved him before this book. I saw him on TV a lot, and I kind of knew his story, and just, I don't know, like something about him just drew me to him. And I loved him. I was a big fan before this book came out. And then when the book came out, I thought, yes, I'm going to get it. And I got it, and it sat on my Kindle for a while. And then finally, and then everything happened and he was killed, and it was tragic. And I'm still like really upset about that. But, the movie came out, and I was like, okay, this movie's coming out. I know I'm going to see it somehow. It's hard for us to get to movies because we have 2 kids. So I knew I was going to read the book, and I knew I was going to watch the movie. So I said, finally, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to read it. And I loved it. It was really, really good. He's funny. And it was hard to read at times because my husband has been in war zones. So it was kind of one of those things where you're reading it and you're like, oh, I hope my husband was never in that kind of situation. Granted, they did not do the same jobs. My husband's not a sniper. But it's still kind of, it hits home. Just military in general, it just really hits home. So loved it. So the prompt that this one fulfilled was a book that's based on a true story. And obviously it was Chris Kyle, and it was his life, and it's a true story. The third book that I read was also on my Kindle, and it was The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. Finally, I read it. I'm probably the last person in America to read that book. Probably. But it was worth the wait. Oh, it was really, really good. If you're one of those people who don't know what it is about a girl who has, they're thinking terminal cancer. I don't think it was ever stated that it was terminal, but it was bad. And she ends up meeting a boy in a support group that she hates. She doesn't hate the boy, she hates the support group. She meets him at the support group, and they end up building this really great friendship, and it eventually turns to more. And their dynamic is really, really great. His character is really, really great. And then they go on this trip of a lifetime, and it's just, it's really good. I'm not going to give anything away because it does kind of take a little bit of a turn. But it was really good. I flew through it really, really quickly. Loved it. And the prompt that this one fulfills is made me cry, because it made me cry. Not ugly cry. I didn't go into the ugly cry, but there were some tears. There were some tears falling. The fourth book I read is Nightmare in Niceville by Amberly Cian. I think that's how you say her name. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. Okay, so here is how I feel about this book. It's a short book, so it was very short. I read it in like 2 days, I think. And I read it only because the prompt that it fulfilled was a book that is set in your hometown. My hometown is Niceville, Florida, which is small. It's not like teeny tiny, podunk, but it's not a huge town. And so I needed something like that, and my mom had told me that there was a book out there that was based in our hometown, and I was like, oh, cool. And then when I saw that prompt, I was like, oh, cool. So I read it. It's kind of it's almost like a little bit of a horror book. It's like slasher, and the story was good. It was a good premise. I wasn't mad at it. You could tell that she was a young writer. I think it might have been her first published book. So there were a couple of parts where I was just like, you could have gotten to the point in 10 less sentences than that. But other than that, it was fine. I'm not mad that I read it. It was a really quick read. It was fine. And it fulfilled one of my prompts, and it was another book that I read. So it's okay. The fifth book I read is 1+1 by Jojo Moyes. And this one fulfilled the prompt of an author that I have never read. And I had seen a lot of people reading Me Before You, which is also by Jojo Moyes, and just raving about it, completely raving. So I wanted to read that for sure. That's on my Kindle. I haven't read it yet. So I knew I wanted to read that one, and I ended up going to the library one day because I needed to do something with my card or something, and this book 1+1 was sitting right there, with new arrivals or something. So I was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and take that. I'm gonna take it. So I took it, and I read it, and it was good. I enjoyed it. I liked the way that she wrote it, and I liked the characters, and their banter was really good. It's about a woman who's kind of down on her luck, and then she's working for this wealthy person and this wealthy man who is just newly divorced and kind of in some legal trouble, so he's kind of down in the dumps. And they end up going on this road trip together because she's trying to get her daughter to a mathematics like scholarship type thing, and she ends up stranded, and he just happens to be driving by, and he picks them up and he takes them even though he barely knows them, and he takes her and her 2 kids and their ridiculously big slobbering dog in his brand new car, and just you kind of see their relationship develop on this road trip that they're on. And it's really good. I really did enjoy this book, and I'm excited to read more from her. And that is it. So that is what I read in the month of January. So coming up here, actually in a few days, I'm going to have my February one, since I'm kind of playing catch up so that I can post my April one at the end of April. So coming up in here in a few days, I'm going to have what I read in February. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions for me at all, please leave them below so I can answer them if I can. And if you have any book suggestions or people that you watch on YouTube that talk about books, leave them down below so I can check them out as well, because I'm always looking for some new people to watch. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Had a great day, and I'll see you later. Bye.